This video is to illustrate the production functionality that's now in SwiftCount connected to Spire. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a production order. The production order has a lot numbered item, and within the lot numbered item there is a lot number part number as well. So I took an existing item and I added a few items just to make it, to illustrate the point. It doesn't have to be, it's not necessarily a real bill of material, but I just wanted to illustrate that we can create a bill of material and we can import it. So I created a production order here. I'm going to save the production order. I'm going to copy the production order, save and close. And now if I go to SwiftCount, I can go into settings. Then I click on production. To import a specific production order, I click on production order integration icon, import specific production order, put in the production order number, and click on sync. And wait, it takes about a minute or so because it has to bring in all the components as well. So now if I look, I can see that production order. And within the production order, there's three things we can do. There it is here, it's 228. It's a quantity to produce 2. It gives me a production location, which is going to be the default location for that item, for that warehouse. First thing I can do is I can actually print a report that will show me the items that I need. It's going to show me the quantity that I require, and it's going to show me where there is some in the current locations within the warehouse. So what I can do is I can actually print that report. But what I can also do if I want to change a location where it's going to be produced, I have two ways to do it. Number one, I can do it right from the get-go. I can click on the little edit button and it'll open here. And then here I can pick a different location. For example, if I want to pick this location to produce it, I can do that. I will still have an option to move it at the end of the production anyway. It also tells me where I can pick it. And again, here I have the option to click on here. It'll show me how many I have in that location. And if I had it in another location, I could actually change it from here. And I can do the same for each of the item. I'm able to see where I have. So it already picked the ones that it knows I have enough. So if you make changes here, all you have to do is click on Save Changes to affect it, and then you'll see that the production location has been changed here. And then the final step is to actually produce it. So when you produce it, you're actually going here and you're producing. So the way that the system works is that it wants you to be able to have all the item in the production location before you can move it. Right now, the process button is disabled. If I look at the item that I don't have, I have those three items. One of them is lot numbered. Had these items not be lot numbered, I would have been able to hit process, and then it would allow me to pick the locations on the fly. But because we have a lot numbered item, that one we have to physically move. So I'm going to do that with my scanner, physically move that one to that location, and then I'll be able to process it. If I want to move the others, obviously I can. So the idea would be that if I moved everything the right way, you would go to the full. That shows me where we have the full quantity exactly matching the quantity that is required. If I had a partial quantity, if I only moved half of it, I would still be able to see it here. If I'm over, I would see it here. So those three buttons don't stop me from doing it. It would just tell me where it is and whether I'm over or whether I have a partial quantity. The none just tell me that it doesn't have any of those items in the location. And the not in that location is just telling me that in this location right now, I have other items that are not necessarily. So that's just for information, doesn't really do anything. The rest. So I'm going to transfer the lot number item. Because I have a Honeywell scanner, I can just go ahead and scan the barcode for that item. If I had it, select my location where I have it, and select my lot number. And I'm going to transfer it to the location where I actually want to have to produce it. So it's showing me that I need from 00 to 0724, and I have the lot number. I just need the quantity here. The quantity that I require is 34. So 25 calculator here, but that does this. So that transfer was done on the scanner. That's when we would move the item to the production area. Now if I close this and reopen it, it recompiles it. Now it's telling me I have the full quantity of that item into the proper location, which is 0724, that's related to that. And now the process button is enabled, even though I don't have the other two, because the other two are not lot numbered, so it's no longer required to have to move them. So what happens now is if I hit process, what it's going to do is going to show me the item, asking me where I want it from and what quantity. So first it's showing me the quantity. If I wanted a different quantity, I could change it here if necessary. Not a need right now that it's going to take one from this location, one from this location. I only have it in one location, so it's not a problem. But if I had multiple location, I would have been able to pick it right here. Now I hit process, and now we've got everything that we need, and we hit process. It says yes. So when the production completes, it gives me one more option whether I want to transfer it from that location. So it's actually now been created. It's showing me that on hand I have two in that location. It's now giving me an additional option to transfer it somewhere else. So if I wanted to transfer it to shipping or whatever, I could at this point, but I don't need to, so I'm just going to click on close. So now if I look in SwiftCount, I can see that I have the item. I can look here. This is a production where I just created the two. And if I looked in lot numbers, I'll be able to see those lot numbers. The final step will be to actually go to Spire and manually receive that production order, because right now we do not have the ability to send that information back. So you'd have to use a report that came out of SwiftCount and then go through and receive each item by hitting on build, entering the quantities that you've used, the quantity that you built, and then you have to enter the lot numbers that you've consumed and so on, just like, and you'll be able to see all this information in the report. Now, when you build it in Spire, you also have to enter the lot number for the final product, and you'll be able to see that as well on the report that came out of SwiftCount. So that completes the process of creating a production order that allows you to make sure that you manage which components are being used in SwiftCount so you can keep track of the various locations. Thank you.